Welcome to this episode. We're going to be talking about Facebook timeline today. Do you love it or do you hate it? So welcome to Insider Internet Success. My name's Kavit Haria, and over the next few moments we're going to talk about the Facebook timeline in this episode. You know, there are some people out there, they absolutely love it. And you can see them going wild on Facebook, writing all sorts of different things and sharing about what they like. And then there are some people that actually, they just don't get it. They feel like they're so behind, they don't know what it's all about, they don't know how it's all changed, and they don't know what to do with it. I don't know which one of those things that you are, but let's make sure we get to the point by the end of this video that you know a little bit about how it works and what it's for. Now, whether you like it or not, Facebook timeline is here to stay. It's replacing that old thing called profiles. So profiles no longer, I mean, they are still profiles, but they're just no longer running that same way. And remember that thing called the wall? Well, the wall's no longer there. It's called the timeline. And it's going to be talking about the entire timeline of who you are. It's about charting your personal story from wherever you started all the way to where you are now. To sharing the events in your life, the different key aspects of your life. And why? Well, the reason that all of this is important is, for me anyway, personal branding. From a marketing point of view, why do I find the timeline so important? Because it's an opportunity, it's an amazing opportunity for us to connect to different areas of our lives with different people, connect a huge amount of opportunity to what it is that we are about. Because you know what, today in business, most people don't buy based on a logo, and most people don't buy based on seeing a brand. They buy based on personality. They buy based on what is that person like, how are they, who do they serve, what's good about them, what do they give, what value do they add, and that's what people talk about. So in this video we're going to talk a little bit about the Facebook timeline, and we're going to jump right into it, and I'm going to show you here on my laptop some key elements so that you can see for yourself. Your life is much more than just stories, photographs, videos, friends, connecting, etc, etc, right? So the timeline allows you a greater advantage to display that, to show what you're about because of the way it's visually presented. So let's walk through some of the key characteristics. And there are 4 or 5 key areas that I want to talk to you a little bit about today. And the first one is the cover photo. I don't know if you've been on to Facebook recently and you've seen the timeline. It's that big photo at the top of your screen. So let's jump into it right now and have a look. So you can see the big photo on the screen. And this big photo here, in this particular instance, is my own photo here. And it's a wonderful way for you to show your personality, your imagery, and a little bit of marketing too. It's like a website header, right? I mean, if you see some of these websites, they have this header at the top, and then the website continues, and that's kind of what this is about. And this is your opportunity here to do whatever you need to do to get across some of your marketing. So I've used a big picture here, but actually, there's a specific dimension that you want to start designing this to. I'm going to show you a couple of examples right now. If you look at this one here, this is Jonathan Fields, wonderful blogger, wonderful author, and he's used his timeline here to create this kind of a header, which he's basically put onto his thing, so it's promoting his book. This lady here, Amy Porterfield, she's a social media person, and she's created this little banner here talking about her life on the left and her business on the right. So it gives you the best of both worlds. It talks a little bit about the marketing, and it talks a little bit about her personal life. And of course, this is Gary Vaynerchuk, so this is just personality, which is what he's all about, right? The founder of Wine Library TV. So, and this is him in an audience, and he's at the top of the stage showing his photograph. So, what wonderful ways to use to get your message across. And just like it's a website header, you can change this very quickly, very easily. The dimensions that you want to be focusing on with this are 851 times 315. So 850 pixels wide and 315 pixels high. And these are the kind of dimensions that you want to be looking at when you're designing this. You know, I would recommend you find a graphic designer. Go to fiverr.com for cheap design at $5, fiverr.com. And just pay somebody $5 to come up with a banner. And the banner needs to be 851 times 315 pixels. And you just need to make sure you get on there a little picture about you, maybe some more pictures about you. Talk a little bit about your personality, get that coming through with your funny photos, your laughter, your family, your friends, and then of course have a little bit about your business, maybe your website, maybe if you're giving away a free report or if you're giving away a free video, just put something in there about that. Because it's the best space right now on Facebook. As soon as somebody comes to your site, they're going to see that and they'll be like, okay, let's go check that out. So that's the first part, that's the cover photo. The second part I wanted to tell you about was the About page. And it's quite a prominent feature right now on Facebook on your timeline. So if we jump back in and you have a look here, you'll see that just underneath the cover photo, there's a little button here that says About. Can you see that? This entire block here is the About block, but also just underneath it says About. So the director, founder of Insider Internet Success is what mine says. I live in London, I'm married, and I haven't added my school, but this is the About section. And if I click the About here, it'll take me to the editing section. And here I can see the editing section. And there's the work and education, there's the living, relationship, basic information, and for me the important part is this About You section. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, the About section is really important to allow you to sell yourself, to talk about who you are, what you do, how you serve people. Because when you keep talking about yourself and yourself and yourself, nobody's wanting to know. But if you can tell somebody how, this is how I'm going to serve you, or this is how I serve this group of people, they'll come and check it out. So right now, you can see here on mine, it says, if you're an entrepreneur, work at home type, or small business owner, and you want to get more leads, sales, and revenue using the internet, I'm your man. Check out my free videos, articles, live events, webinars, and resources to help you get started. And when you're ready, consider one of my programs to help you go to the next level. And all the details are at www.insiderinternetsuccess.com. And then I go on to talk about my music and then my health websites. And that's my little About section. It's a well-crafted page where these different blocks allow me to share who I am. So you need to make sure that your About page is as complete as possible. As you can see, I still need to add the school and I need to add a few other bits, but the most important part is this bit where people can come and click on my link and go back to my site. The better thing here would probably be to add something for free, so go and check out this specific video or this specific webinar and add that in there as well so people can go and check it out. But your About page is very important. It means that people can check it out as well. And then we head back, and if we head back, what we'll find, I want to show you, is that as you're coming down on this page, you'll see that this little thing here pops up here. I don't know if you can see that. It says that there's this bar here that pops up and it says my name, and then it says the timeline. So it shows when in the timeline I want to look at. If I want to look at all the way back to when I joined Facebook, which was 2004, or if I want to look at the point where I was born, etc. And then on the right it says add a life event. So if you want to add an event to your timeline, you could do that. If you wanted to add a status message, a photo, etc., you could do that. From a marketing point of view, all of this is about personal branding and all this is about personality. So, you know, if you can't get any of that in, then you're probably going to hamper your marketing efforts. You know, the more you get in about who you are, let people see how you're working, interact a lot, people are going to get really engaged with you. If you see down the middle here, you'll see that there is this line going all the way down. And this is the timeline. This is the key thing. And it's replicated here on the right with all of this, the now, the January, December, 2011, 2010, 2009, 2008, etc., all the way down. And you can go all the way down on your timeline, and you at any point in your timeline, if you want to add an event, you could just do that. So let's say that I'm here right now on January 13th, or let's go up here, let's say January 13th, and I click here, I can click on there and add a live event, or add a status. So I'm going to add a status here. This is January 15th, I had a great day eating out, okay? So I'm just going to write that, and you can see you can change the date here, and I'm going to press post. And it's just going to pop up this little message here, which is wonderful because it means that at any point, at any time, you can go in and add these different events. So you're cataloging and you're keeping collection of your life. So anybody who wants to come and do business with you, anybody who wants to know you, to meet you, they can go and check out lots of different things. So that's really quite an interesting part of this. Now, here's an additional feature, all right? The additional feature is this. When you go to somebody else's page and it's not your page and you're not friends with them, so if I go this and click on View As, it's going to show me what my page looks like. And the cool thing about this is that you can go out here and click on Add Friends, so people can very easily see who you are and add you as a friend. And some of these profiles also have the ability for people to subscribe. So you can go to somebody else's profile and subscribe. So if we go here to Amy Porterfield's profile, you can see that there's a subscribe button. Now, I'm not friends with Amy Porterfield on Facebook right now, but if I press this subscribe button and it shows that I'm subscribed, it means that without having to be Amy's friend on Facebook, I can still make sure that I follow what she's up to. So if you know somebody that you like, for example, you can go and press subscribe and you start following what they're up to. But this has even more importance for you as a marketer, right? If you're creating regular content, if you're creating new material, if you're writing stuff that's useful, people can come and hit subscribe and start seeing your material on a regular basis on their wall, which means that they're keeping in touch with you. Now, they don't give you their email address like we like to have, they don't give you their phone number or their email address, but they give you their subscription on what is the most time-consuming website in the world, right? So the amount of hours that people spend on Facebook. If somebody hits subscribe and you're writing stuff and they see it, aren't they likely to pay attention? So this subscribe button is really, really powerful, and it's really a wonderful way to do this. So you know, I can go ahead and add Amy as a friend, but certainly I can have her here as a subscribe button. And the same thing with Jonathan Fields, the same thing with Gary Vaynerchuk, who of course I'm subscribed to. The great thing is that you can also choose, as you can see here on the screen, the specific type of updates that you want. If you want updates of his life, you can choose that. If you want status updates and photo updates, you can choose that. If you want games that he puts, if you want to see what people comment and like, you can choose whatever you want to be interacting with. So for your potential prospect, your potential customer, it's an amazing way for them to get in touch and to keep in touch with you, because they're following you on a regular basis. They're making sure they keep up to date with you on a regular basis, and they like the things that you're working on. So it really is a wonderful way for you to connect with some of these people, and for people to connect with you so they're getting your messages and your updates. Finally, the next thing I wanted to mention is the featured content. Now, although you've got this little timeline, we're back here at my profile. Although we've got this, my profile here, I can go through my timeline. And if there's something that I really find quite fascinating on my profile, if there's something that I want to really share and make it exclusive, all I need to do is just go over to the profile. I can hover over any status update I like, and then I'll click on this little star. So this star here allows me to resize it. And if you watch what happens, it takes that key thing and make it really big on my profile. So people will see it on their wall and they'll come to my site, or if they're going through my profile here, they'll see that this is a key area of the page because I've chosen to highlight it by using the star. So I made it a key feature of this. So it basically stores my content on this timeline and it features it so that the content basically can be seen by people that are coming as an important piece of content before they continue going down and looking at other pieces of content as well. So, you know what? Make some of your posts prominent, because some of your posts, when they become prominent like this one that I've just done here, the post then spans the whole page and it shows more significance. So coming back to all of this, why the Facebook timeline? What's so important about the Facebook timeline? Well, for me, it's about personal branding, and I think personal branding is so important. I mean, you could go out there and share your entire life if you want to. Timeline is in its early days right now, and it's going to take a little while before everybody gets it, but you have the opportunity to go and check it out right now by going to facebook.com/timeline. If you go to facebook.com/timeline, you'll be able to go in there and choose and set up your own timeline and start playing around with it and see what you can do with it. And it's really a wonderful way to explore this new thing. Because as we get into the next months and years this year, we're going to find that Facebook are going to add more applications, more features to make it even more exciting. So you can connect more and more with more people. The whole idea is connection, engagement, interaction. And we want to get this with our prospects. Because if our prospects are interacting with us, if they're writing back and forth, if they're engaging with us, it means we're that much more closer to generating the sale. We're that much more closer to getting into a better client provider relationship with them where we can make more money. So, you know what? Get out there, explore. If you've got any questions, put it underneath this video and I'll be happy to answer them for you. We can get into a bit more detail as we go along, and I'm sure there'll be some more episodes down the line about Facebook timeline as we get to know more about it and as we experiment more with it. So for the time being, enjoy the video, press like, share it. If you like this episode, register for more videos at insiderinternetsuccess.com. I've really enjoyed making this for you. I look forward to making some more for you very soon, and all the best.